I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video I have a super important announcement on the Sipher NFT play to earn game, because the token sale mechanics have just been announced and I got my hands on a copy, and I will walk you through everything you need to know, because this is not your ordinary sale. Quite surprising, I found some extremely interesting information which I think is only good for the game. However, it is not something that we often see. So therefore, I will walk you through it step by step to make sure, hopefully, you understand everything. And I had to read it 3 times for myself, to understand everything. Nothing in this video is financial advice. It is for entertainment purposes only. Let's have a look at the Sipher initial public sale mechanics. So it was literally published today, and obviously I am very much interested in the NFTs. I'm very much interested in the game itself. So now the tokenomics are available, something I complained about when I published my research report. So if you haven't seen it, I've made quite a long video going over the entire Sipher project. I will link that in the description down below, or perhaps even in the comments. But in this video, we will go over the tokenomics and their strange model that they're going to apply, which we haven't seen before. This will not be your regular IDO. All right, before we discuss the Sipher initial public sale, we would like to recall the concept of network effect and distribution of the economic value. Bitcoin's network effect derives blah, 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 blah. They're going to use, network will come, gamers, streamers, Sipher, value of Sipher, the community, tokenomics. The Sipher token lies at the heart of the Sipher ecosystem, helping coordinate and align incentives of stakeholders. Please visit Tokenomics for more details, which we will do in a second. The Sipher ecosystem is designed to be progressively owned, contributed, operated, maintained, and upkept by the community consisting of its players, guildmasters, me, streamers, fans, and builders. Sipher is designed to be the pool for distributing the value of and power over any particular operational instance of the Sipher vault. Sipher will only work that way if our builders, players, guildmasters, fans, and users who acquire Sipher know how to use it as a community mechanism, developing social understanding that gives Sipher meaning and value. Although the purposes of Sipher are thus aspirational and eventually beyond any single party's control, we will seek to give Sipher features that will encourage the Sipher community to use it in a way that will benefit the ecosystem as a whole. Very nice. So basically it is community owned, as it's decentralized, of course. And these are the tokenomics. The total supply of the tokens to be minted will be 1 billion Sipher. These tokens will be distributed based on the various vesting schedules since the token generation event to the stakeholders within the ecosystem. Please refer to token distribution and token vesting. Okay, they have an overview right here of everything, which is quite hard to read. So I will go. Here we have the tokenomics, here's the distribution, here's the vesting. All right, perfect. Let's start with the definitions, right? Sipher is required for the cloning creation of new characters, marketplace transaction fees for in-game items, and to purchase specialty items from the Sipher laboratory, which is great. So there's something connected to the token, just not one utility, but multiple purposes. Sipher can be used for staking, for Sipher vault governance, and earn staking rewards, incentivizing all participants that contribute to the Sipher universe. Alright, so you can stake it as well. Sipher will be distributed during seed, strategic, and public sales. Following that, Sipher will be distributed for those contributing to the game ecosystem. A large percentage of Sipher fees collected through ecosystem activities will be going to the Sipher vault. So basically that's how they give you the staking rewards, based on the fees they collect. The token supply will be 1 billion Sipher tokens to be minted. The tokens will be distributed since the token, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm not going to go over this because it's quite complex. I think it's easier just to read the tokenomics here. So again, they go over the Sipher token, what it's used for, blah, 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 blah. I think this one is quite interesting. Right click and open image in a new tab to view a larger version. There we go. All right, so this is basically how the tokens work in terms of the gameplay, which I think is important to consider. Of course, we all want to know the tokenomics, how much money can we make, blah, 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 blah. But it's important to understand this first, otherwise you will not understand why they did choose for such a weird non-IDO mechanism. Yeah, mechanism, difficult word. Because it's basically all involved around the game, right? So the PvE mode, it consumes stamina, it increases leaderboard rankings, you can get all these items, you can craft, and then you can gain Ether or USDT by selling items inside the game, right, on the Sipher marketplace. Then you can buy shit again, craft shit, upgrade PvP, and then it basically continues as a full ecosystem cycling back and forth, which makes sense, right? Okay. Character cloning and then disintegrated cloning. Player can use laboratory to disintegrate their clones to receive a refund for random material fragments. Do not apply to Genesis NFTs, right? Only to new ones. So either you want to use it, you keep it, or sell it. You don't want to use it, you basically burn it, right? And then you get something in return for it. So deflation crafting items as NFTs. Users can craft mint new items using a combination of the following things below. Ether as crafting cost, which is like the in-game currency, so it's not Sipher, right? Clone characters is Sipher, so you can see when it comes to in-game resources, gear, all that stuff, speed up processes, anything inside the game uses the Ether currency. Anything basically the start as the foundation of the ecosystem uses Sipher. Very important to distinguish those two things. Well, then you got battle to earn, okay, trading NFTs and fungible tokens that they earn through battles. Players can buy and sell characters on the Sipher Bazaar, which is a marketplace. Players can buy and sell items, okay, that's the same thing. Top ranking players in the ranked will receive Sipher every week. At the end of the week, the amount of Sipher received will change over time. This is like a play to earn mechanic for the top players. I don't assume the prize pools will be huge, right? I hope it will be like $50, $250 a week, but I don't expect it to be that big. But anyway, if you love playing that game, it's easy money, obviously. Participating in win tournaments, teams and guilds join in tournaments, best of 16 teams. The winning team will take 70% of the pool winnings, runner-up takes 30%. All right, fair, that's quite cool. Okay, then they go a little bit about the guild activities, what you can do, not that interesting. Guild can be formed purchasing a guild NFT using Sipher. So again, the underlying ecosystem in terms of money is always Sipher, which is good. All right, this is quite cool. Fans and viewer activities. In PvE survival tournament, fans and viewers can influence the match live by spending Ether to spawn more items or providing temporary buffs. Oh, that's cool. So this is the in-game currency. Streamers can cover the match on Twitch and YouTube to receive Sipher, refer new users around. So this is basically expansion of the game's reach, right? They want more eyeballs and that's how they're going to do it. So to default and then to the team. Percentages based on the cloning fees, tournament entry fees, all that. There's a little disclaimer about information might change, token values are not promised, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all good. Then we go to the token distribution, which is not my favorite setup, right? So they have 25% for the team and advisors, and I think that's a big pay cut for their team, you know? I mean, there must be something involved there, but if you look at the tokenomics we looked at before right here, the team is already making fees of every single transaction going through the Sipher vault, and then they have 25%. So advisors, I don't assume they pay their advisors more than 2.5%. Let's say 5%. Still, the team has a huge portion of the total tokenomics, which I find a little strange, or they just want to be rich. However, when I looked at how the vesting works, which is right here, which we also need to take into consideration. There's a 16-month cliff followed by 24 months of vesting. So they won't reach all their tokens for, let's say, 40 months, which is about 3 years, 3.5 years, which then makes sense, right? Initially, the 60-month cliff is enough for me to gain confidence there. I think it's a lot, 25% of the total distribution, yet with a 16-month cliff, that's 1.5 years, I think that is doable. If that would be a 6-month cliff, I would not be interested any longer. However, looking at the sales that we could participate in, or at least I could participate in, the distributions are quite small. So the seed sale, which I assume already has happened, is 11.3%. Then strategic sale, 5%. And then obviously I would participate in the 4% on the public sale. The game incentives and marketing, 30%. That's quite a large pool. But if they want to do like streamers, giveaways, that consistently, obviously that requires a large amount of money. Listing and liquidity rewards, 10%, and the foundation reserve, 14%. Promotion and partnerships, 0.3%. But I assume that when it comes down to marketing, that will also overlap with this. So the public sale, 4%. I mean, from what we have seen, I think 2 to 8% is normal. So 4% is just the average of that. So that would be completely fine. However, now the question is, let's look at the vesting and then we'll go over the mechanism that they have chosen to apply. So for the public sale, there's no vesting, and I will say why. So it's 100% TGE, yet there will be no pump and dump because they have chosen something very interesting, which I've never explained before, but I will try to explain you. So the strategic sale, 16-month cliff, 3-month cliff, 16 cliff. Obviously the game has a 1-month cliff, and then the liquidity is released on TGE, foundation 30-month cliff, and reserve 60-month cliff. So the cliffs are huge. This is a long-term play they're going to do with the release of their tokens, which I really like. Yeah. So although I like to complain a fair bit about vesting schedules, need to go faster, need to move bigger, it's never the perfect vesting schedule, right? For any other investor, depends on how you look at it. However, here, I think they have a long-term vision, which I can appreciate. All right, now let's talk about that crazy IDO mechanic. So how will the sale actually be conducted? This is basically the most important update for you to understand. This is the moment where you basically now have all the background information. Let's talk business. Let's have a look and see, in my opinion, if this is something that's interesting or not. A fair launch is critical to building trust with your community in the early stages of a project's life cycle. Without a fair launch and the potential of bots front-running, token launches can become a disaster, with potentially community members being lost forever. The ideal fair launch can vary from project to project depending on their aspirations and goals. For Sipher, a fair launch should strive for the following goals: sniper bot and bidding bot resistance, no pump and dump by whales, equal and fair market buying price, open and transparent, grow our community by allowing as many new community members to join as possible. A successful game needs hundreds of thousands of members. I agree, although it's not really in my favor, especially not this one, because that's usually what I like to do, or this one, get in early on private sales so I can dump my tokens later. I do agree that in their benefit and all the players' benefit, not my benefit, these things make sense. So their decision to go over the concerns of these various launches. So they say concerns with commonly used token sale methods, launchpad IDO, traditional IDO, lottery-based or launchpad Q. They have a full argument on why there might be some problems with these models, which I have read and somewhat agree with. I mean, they want, which they also mentioned in their white paper, which I also mentioned in the previous research report, that the game should be fair and accessible to everyone. And they keep coming back to that. And that's, I think, very clear here, because they're going to choose for an initial bonding curve offering, IBCO. So this is not an initial DEX offering, it's an IBCO, initial bonding curve offering. Don't get me wrong, if you don't know what that means, it's 100% fine. I read a lot of white papers and I had to put this in YouTube and had a girl explain me what this means. And it says, what does initial bond curve offering mean? Explained to a 5-year-old. And I had to watch it 3 times to understand how it works. But now I know how it works, so I can explain it to you. The goal of the IBCOs is to solve the aforementioned problems by utilizing bonding curves of decentralized exchanges. In our Sipher initial public sale, 40 million, 4% of Sipher tokens will be pre-minted and will be sent to the token sale smart contract. The price of each Sipher token will start at 36 cents. The price of each Sipher token will start at 36 cents. And given the bonding curve method used as part of the IBCO, each time funds are contributed, the settle final price of the token will increase. This is the following demand-supply theory. Alternatively, withdrawing funds for lower the settlement final price of tokens for everyone, which makes sense, right? So a simple way to understand it, how it works, is initially there are 1,000 tokens. This is just an example, right? For sale at a price of $1. First interaction, person A contributes $1,000, which means that each token is now worth $1, right? Yeah. The current price is now $1 because there are 1,000 tokens for sale. Somebody pays $1,000, so each token is now worth 1,000. Supply and demand, basic economics. Person B contributes 1,000. There's now 2,000 for 1,000 tokens, which means that the current price is now $2 per token, right? But you also have the option to withdraw money. So I assume you would not withdraw money unless you see that too many people are contributing and the price is going too high for what you foresee to be realistic and make your participation eligible for your own investment protocol. Person A withdraws 500. Now there's 1,500 and only 1,000 tokens. So the current price is 150 for each token. Makes sense. IBCO followed traditional economic theory in the sense that an asset is worth what anyone could be willing to pay for it, right? In theory. The price of an asset, token in this case, should reflect the balancing point or equilibrium. So that's basically the point in the market where supply and demand meets. It's one of my favorite words to use. Who wants to sell and those who want to buy. See, supply and demand. Contradicting to an IDO, the final price is IBCO is not established by anyone, but rather determined by the market. So this is what we would say an all fair launch, not a fair launch as the principle under an IDO, but this is literally, it can't be more fair than this. There's a fixed amount of tokens, and the more people contribute, the higher the price per token would be settled at the end of the sales period. Which I believe nothing could be more fair. I don't think it's beneficial for me as an investor because how many people are interested in the project? A lot, right? So I might deposit my money and then withdraw some later on if it really goes too crazy. But I have to make a separate video on that with my calculations, what in my opinion would be the right approach. So the advantages of this IBCO method, if you're not familiar with it at all, it relies on mathematical and programmatically automated mechanism. That's my difficult word of the day, mechanism. More specifically, it relies on smart contracts, okay, whatever. Equal price for all participants. I think that's the most important one. Flexible time and collective contributions. There's no need to rush in the beginning and try to get in. Okay, note that the Sipher IBO will have a deposit period in which all participants can withdraw funds that will last 72 hours. All right, that's good to know. 72 hours, which is basically 3 days. The IBCO, I want to say IDO every single time, but the initial public sale IBCO in this case will last 72 hours. So I'll probably get in the first hour, and I'll probably check at the last day 1 hour before it closes to see where things are at. Okay, no bots, obviously, that's great. Option to withdraw funds. Okay, so that's quite an important one. As the token price will consistently be changing, we understand that there's a possibility that the project may reach a point where participants may no longer wish to take part. Yeah. Within the contract, we will be providing an option for participants to withdraw their committed funds at any point during the 72-hour sale, with some withdrawal restrictions applied to contributions made above 1 ETH in total value. The reason for these restrictions are deterring price manipulation by large capitals. That makes sense. So they have this cool calculator, so if somebody's using a different one, you can use it. So let's say I contribute 1 ETH. The withdrawal amount is 1 ETH, right? If I do, let's say 0.4 ETH, the withdrawal amount is 0.4 ETH. If I do 1.1, I can only withdraw 70%, right? If I do 2, 70%, 3, 70%, 100 ETH, I can only withdraw 10%. Right, so the bigger the number becomes, the less you can withdraw because they don't want you to influence the price too much, especially at the end. Let's say you deposit 1,000 Ethereum, you can basically pump and dump the price or FOMO people into withdrawing or depositing, either way, by making those moves, because you can just move the money. And then it says no willed pump and dumping or price manipulation, which I think is very much clear. So here you have the curve on what it would look like, and this is the link right here to that sheet which I just used. This is what it would look like. Let me also see if I can open this when the token sale goes live. So you can see the Ethereum contributed in the estimated token price. This is the estimated cipher you will receive, and it will obviously continuously change on this side. They will host it apparently on their own website, and they have like the swapping right here. So the locked amount, how much time remaining, and then you can deposit. It's all quite basic, right? It's not too crazy. The most important one is the estimated token price, I would say. Countries exclusion, very important. The following countries, according to the regulations in crypto, are not allowed to take part in the Sipher initial public sale. These countries are, if you're from these countries, it's quite unfortunate, but you cannot participate. Albania, Barbados, Burkina Faso, Cambodia, Cayman Islands, Haiti, Jamaica, Malta, Morocco. Is it Myanmar? Myanmar, yeah. Nicaragua, Pakistan, Panama, Senegal, South Sudan, Syria, Uganda, Yemen, Zimbabwe, Iran, Democratic Republic, People's Republic of Korea. Oh, that's a long name. Jordan, Mali. The biggest one, obviously, as always, United States of America. Cry, cry, Americans. People's Republic of China, Hong Kong, SAR, Macau, SAR, Singapore, Philippines, and Turkey. So they're terribly sorry, but current legal frameworks prevent them from accepting your investment. That makes sense. I don't think I've ever seen any IDO mechanism applied where they would allow any of these countries. It's just legal frameworks, right? So as long as you're not from any of these countries, you can participate. And this basically concludes the entire urgent information on the token sales of Sipher. I'm super pumped. They said, keep an eye on the Discord. That's what I did. I was one of the first to receive the link and check it out, and now I'm bringing it to you, and I hope you are pumped as well. More information on when it's actually happening, what time will be released on their Discord in the very near future, I assume over the next couple of days. And of course, as always, I will keep you up to date. If you like this video, please give it please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. If you want to stay up to date on the Sipher content, I'll be releasing more videos as we get closer to the token sale. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, and you'll get notifications straight to your inbox. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.